Excellent. Hey, Rifters, welcome to the show. Subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend. Anyways, I'm very excited to be here. You guys should be excited to be here. We got a great show. But yeah, man, you've seen her in this new movie, which was the number one movie of the year for a while. Before Wicked came out, Terrifier 3, Alexa Blair Robertson's going to be here via Zoom. Very excited to talk to her. I think she's extremely talented. And yeah, so guys, if you're here for Alexa Blair Robertson, tell a friend. And if you're here because you're a rifter, please support Alexa Blair Robertson and watch Terrifier 3. But do not watch it unless you have an empty stomach. That is my advice. All right. Excellent. Enjoy the show.
From Hollywood, California, welcome to Reza Rifts with your host, Keith Reza.
Hey, Alexa.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. It's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Of course. Thanks for asking. Happy to be here.
Yeah. I want you to know that, I don't know if you've ever been interviewed by people who wear hats. I actually do have hair, but I'm very sensitive to light. So that's why I'm wearing a hat.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. That was actually my very first question that I was going to ask. So.
No, yeah, definitely. I want you to know I do have Prince Charming hair. So.
Oh, yeah. I bet it's like flowing. You got a ponytail in the back.
Well, it's not that gay, but yeah, I mean, it's but you know what I mean. But thank you so much. I saw Terrifier 3 and I became a big fan of yours. And I remember when I saw it with my lady friend, she looks at me and she's like, "Do not ask her to do your podcast." And I did it anyway.
Uh-oh, might not want to let her see this episode then.
Oh yeah, well, that's why it's a lady friend, not a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you're not putting a label on it quite yet.
Yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian. I don't have labels. I just
oh, okay. You're an exception to the rules. I like it.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, because I know you were dancing, and we'll get into Terrifier 3 first. But you used to dance, or do you still dance for the New York Knicks?
Yes, so that was actually my very first professional job after I graduated from my alma mater, Duke University. So that was a 1-year contract. I had did I break up? Okay. And I had the best time and I was so grateful for the experience, but it was, that is a chapter of my past and it was such a great opportunity, but I do not foresee myself returning to the NBA anytime soon, but it was really cool. And dance is still a big part of my life and I still do it professionally. I actually was just on set for a new exciting role last week that it had a dance component to it. So my dream is to act and dance in tandem. So those are my two favorite things that I want to combine them.
Oh my God. Well, I think by how you're living your life, you're going to accomplish that dream. You know what I mean?
I have to hope, I work towards it every day. We're getting closer.
Who was your favorite Knick when you danced for the Knicks?
Okay, so this is kind of unfair, I feel like, because like I said, I went to Duke University and the year that I was on the Knicks, actually 3 Duke players from my year all went to the Knicks.
Oh my God.
I feel like that's a little unfair. So I met RJ Barrett during undergraduate, like through some friends, and really nice guy, obviously super talented. And so it was pretty cool to have a piece of like home up there in New York on the court too. So pretty cool that I got to cheer for him in both places.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, if I was a cheerleader, I'd want to cheer for the Knicks.
Yeah, why's that?
Because that's my team. That's my basketball team.
Okay, let's go. All right.
Yeah. My favorite Knick was Julius Randle. And then they just booted him.
I know, but he's quite a character.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh
I don't know. I feel like he has a lot of personality. I used to like watching all of their social media interviews they would do like before and after the games. And it's so fun. Some of them have such great personality and they really like to ham it up in front of the camera. I feel like Randall's kind of one of those.
Oh, that's good to hear. So we should dive on into the hit movie Terrifier 3.
Let's
Uh,
do it.
so like when you got that script, because the first Terrifiers, they didn't go into the theaters. They were just like, on streaming and stuff. And then this one goes into the theaters. How cool is that to see you in the theater?
Oh, so awesome. Because, I've been in some roles where I had cameos here and there that premiered in theaters, and that was exciting, but this is my first time having kind of a role that was congruent to the central storyline and really kind of feeling like I was holding my own as an artist up there on the screen. And it was so amazing to go to the premiere in New York and just see what the Terrifier franchise has become and seeing so many fans who were just genuinely overjoyed to see the third installment was such a cool experience. And I definitely did not know what I was getting myself into when I originally signed into the project, but genuinely could not be happier with how things turned out. I mean, what an epic run. I know it just ended last weekend, but 85 mil on a 2
I
mil budget.
I know, right?
No, give everyone their flowers. That's pretty epic.
Well, I write scripts, and here's the one thing I also teach screenwriting. Here's the one thing I always tell my students is you should always write like your first film to be a horror film or a romantic comedy because they're the cheapest films to make.
Well, whenever you throw Damien into the mix and you get those insane kills, I'm not sure how cheap it becomes anymore.
Oh, really? Wow. Uh,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's pretty awesome. Like seeing all the like effort and time and ingenuity that goes into creating those epic kill scenes, they're a labor of love for sure. And Damien is just a pioneer in that field. So it was really cool to see the behind the scenes of stuff. I took some screenwriting classes during my undergraduate experience and kind of seeing something be translated from words into action it's just indescribable. And it was really cool.
it's a totally different feeling too because like whatever's on the page doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make this, the
Oh,
film.
for sure. I mean, the first time that I read that kill scene, I was just like, huh? Like, we're gonna we're gonna do this and we're not gonna have like CGI if I'm gonna be in there. Are you serious? So seeing how it translated was just super cool. And when you have such a tight knit behind the scenes family, no task and no challenge is too big. Everyone's game, everyone's excited to like outdo themselves. So it's a
Yeah.
pretty cool energy.
And another cool thing about your character, which I really like, is you were a podcaster.
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
you know what I mean? So I was like, holy Lord, she does podcasting too. Soulmates, you know what
Oh
I mean?
my God, meant to be. Yeah. No, it's been pretty full circle. I've been doing quite a few podcasts since the release and pretty awesome. I actually had an opportunity to do a podcast with Amy, or oh my God, no. Oh my God, Annie. Oh my God, I said her
Annie
name.
Letterman?
Yes, Annie Letterman, who she was my podcast scene in the script. And
I
so
know.
doing that in real life, we were like, this is such a meta, like deja vu moment. We're recreating the film in real life. It was pretty awesome. So that was my first podcast I ever did was with her. But
I do stand up with Annie Letterman. And
no way.
so I know Annie. She's actually done this podcast. And
Really? Oh my God.
yeah, I mean, I'm friends with her. I'm not friends with her like Todd or, her boyfriend or whatever, but
Yeah.
I got her
I'll have to let her
digits.
know. Oh yeah, I'll have to text her and let her know. Oh my gosh, hopefully I can see you guys in a show sometime. She's invited me to a couple of her upcoming shows and I really want to go. She's hilarious. I would love to see you guys in action.
Oh, are you in a Los Angeles area or?
Yes, I'm
Uh,
based in LA. I work bi-coastally, but primarily in Los Angeles.
okay, yeah. So I mostly do Orange County. I do LA every once in a while, but I'll tweet you. I'll be like, "Hey, I'm in LA."
Perfect. You let me know.
I'll let you know. So I wanted to add, like one of your biggest character. I want to say this like the hopes and the dreams of a character is like you wanted to interview. Uh, what's his name? I forgot his name. The guy who was in the killing stuff. The brother. What's his
Oh
name?
yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
say
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Yes, you want to interview Jonathan, and
Yes.
I was like you're the thing you wanted. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I wanted to know like we should role play. Like I could be Jonathan, you be Mia, and you could ask me, and then I will respond truly how I feel.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, you're responding as Jonathan or as Keith.
No, I'm Jonathan. I
Okay,
just
okay, okay, okay.
I
I
just
just wasn't
went
sure.
Yeah, I just went through a terrible terrible experience, and I come in and I see my roommate hooking up with the hottest girl in the world. Hey,
Oh my God, are you Jonathan?
yes.
I have been dying to meet you. I have so many questions for you. Okay. Wow, first of all, I didn't even think I'd get this chance. First of all, what is it like to know that you are like famous? Like you are so famous. You have so many fans. Like seriously, I have people DMing me on my podcast channel every single week trying to meet you. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good. I like being famous.
Oh yeah? What about your like when your parents got murdered? That how did that affect you? How do you feel going through life without a family?
Well, that's the part of fame, you know?
Oh yeah, just a side just a side cost of it all. Okay, so like this is really cool to interview you, but if I'm being honest, I kind of want to interview your sister more. Do you think I could have her number?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like right now?
Yeah. It's 714 bleep 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 bleep.
Perfect. Got it. So nice to meet you, Jonathan.
Of course. See? Action. Cut.
I think that Jonathan was a vessel for Mia, honestly. I think she had her eyes set on Sienna the whole time. She really wanted to get that interview.
I was gonna say, but I was waiting for you to ask, and I was gonna say, how many subscribers do you have? Like, really play around with it?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. We could have really improved that moment out. I liked that.
yeah. It's a improv technique. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wanted to ask you, like, how was like, because I remember watching it, and then like, I was like, oh my god, I so badly want to be your scene partner, your boyfriend in it. I was like, that's my dream job. And then he gets murdered. I'm thinking, I don't want to be that guy at all.
Yeah, pretty brutally. I don't think anybody wanted to be that guy.
Yeah, but like, how did they like film that? Like, because that's a lot of blood and guts and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, that scene alone was a labor of love. It was a entire like 4-day span spent just on that scene alone. And
4
so
days. Wow.
yes. So obviously there's like what leads up to the kill, and then there's like the actual kill itself. And then of course Art's little celebration number after, or the little like dance montage that he does after the kill. And what's crazy is that while we saw a lot of like, because obviously we had body dummies, and those were like, when you're seeing the severed limbs and things like that, that's obviously what you're actually seeing. And we did not see all of the filming in regards to the body dummies, meaning that there were some extra bits thrown in there that we did not see like with our own two eyes during the filming process.
Yeah.
So I elected to wait to see the scene at all until we were in theaters because I really wanted like the full experience. And so whenever I saw Mason, who plays my partner in the script, I was in complete shock because I had no idea that that was going to make the final cut.
Yeah.
So I was just blown away. I mean, we saw a great deal, we experienced a great deal, but it ended up being just even more outlandish than we could have imagined. And it's pretty surreal to look on a camera and like, obviously I was behind watching and seeing like a 3D copy of my body getting cut up. I can't even put into words what that experience is like. It's pretty surreal.
Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't. Even though it kind of implies that your character died, I don't think we actually saw you die.
You
So
know, this is an interesting point that has been raised in several of my interviews, and people are always like, she was still blinking, she was still blinking. And as much as my like heart wishes that like Mia would like have this epic resurgence in the next Terrifier installment, I think she got cut in half, bro. Like that would be really crazy. That would be really crazy.
I don't know. Have you ever seen the Saw films? Those guys
Oh,
survive crazy
have I
things.
seen the Saw films? Oh my gosh, those were my intro into the horror genre. So if there is a space for Mia, I will grasp it with both hands. And I've heard some very interesting rumors online about how like maybe the next installment will take place in hell or something, and the rules of reality will be suspended or something. And if that's the case, let's hope Damien
Oh,
will give back, because that would be so fun. I would love that.
that would be cool. Or we could do like a Terrifier 3, but the same script but in the same universe as a third one, and then you just pop around like on school and stuff, right?
Sure. No, yeah. Or it's just like Terrifier 3 Mia's version. And it's just like me like stalking all of his victims all behind the scenes, trying to get that interview.
Maybe we could talk to Damien about doing this, and then like in the fourth one, he kills Annie Letterman.
Oh,
All
bring Annie.
right.
She would be elated. Well, that's what she told me in our podcast. She was like, "Well, you might be dead, but I'm not. Bring me back. Have me have like a bereavement episode of our podcast, you know?"
That'd be fun. But another thing why I like about the Terrifier films, because unlike horror films, I don't really consider it a horror film. I consider it like a horror comedy film because
Yes.
it's very funny. And I don't know if that's just because I'm a comedian and I see the jokes or if I'm just weird.
Well, I think it's a specialty of both Damien and David Hawthorne, who plays Art. Like, that is this special brand that I feel like he has really created for himself and within the industry too, is that he'll be doing the most gruesome, unimaginable kind of stuff in the script, and then he'll look at the camera and do like a little pantomime, and you're just like, he's just funny. Like,
Yeah.
he's a great physical comedian, and it's all him too. Watching him work is really cool because they'll give him like a preface for the scene, and then he'll just get up there and play. Like, they're not really telling him what to do. He's just having fun. And so I think that really translates, and you can tell Art really enjoys what he's doing, even though that makes it more sinister, but also more fun, you know?
Yeah. And you were talking about how you went to these premieres in New York. I'm assuming you went to the one in Los Angeles too, right?
Yes, I did. Correct.
So did like were there a lot of people dressed up as Art, or like how nuts is that?
It's been kind of nuts to see the reach that this franchise has. I mean, the New York premiere was primarily cast and crew. So like that was super fun because we were all dressed up, walking the red carpet and getting to celebrate all our hard work. But the LA premiere that I attended was actually put on by Ice Nine Kills.
Oh my
Spencer,
god.
their lead singer, was the one who kind of orchestrated that event. And there was still a red carpet element, but it was so awesome because it was like everyone there was either a friend of Ice Nine Kills or like a mega fan of Terrifier. The line was wrapped around the block, and almost every single person who came was either dressed up as Art or Vicky. It was crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And they were decked out too, not just like halfway. They had the contacts, they had the bloody like limbs, they had their weapons. It was crazy. Like, it was super cool to be like, wow, like, I know I have a small part, but like, I'm a part of this universe, and I'm proud to like be here and be a part of something that's loved so widely, you know?
Yeah, you should have asked all those people, "You wanna do my podcast?" Like a
My bad. Next time I'll bring your card. My bad.
like a special features DVD. I don't even know if they make DVDs anymore, but a special feature thing,
Double
like
feature. Yeah, for
Mia's
sure.
interviews.
Oh yeah, I should start my own graven image podcast, huh?
Yeah, that'd be cool. But I'm very curious because not to brag, but I just filmed my first horror film, and it's
Oh,
been
awesome. Congrats.
yeah. So I'm not too proud of it because I'm a comedian. I'm not really an actor, but so it's called House of Karma, and they keep saying, "Oh, this scene is going to change your career." And I just want to do the Comic Cons. I don't really, that's all I really want to do. So I
I'm
want.
really excited to start doing those as well. They seem really fun.
Oh, so you haven't done one yet?
Not yet. There was one in the works back last month, but it ended up not working with my schedule. But my first official one is going to be, I believe it's in Toronto at the end of January. And I'm super excited just because the entire Terrifier cast and crew told me about all the fun times they've had and what a great experience it is to meet people. And so I'm stoked. Like, I've never actually been to one myself. So to be there on kind of like, I guess the entertainment end will be really exciting.
Yeah, they're really fun because like I went to one and I like interviewed the celebrities and stuff, and I made little like jokes and stuff. But I always said, hey, I always want to do a movie so I could like be there and just talk to people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure. It'll be really awesome to just see a bunch of people who are truly passionate enough about the franchise to come and meet us and say hello and ask their questions and get the pictures and stuff. So I love any opportunity to interact with people who, love what we put out there. And it was definitely like a learning and growing experience. And it was not always an easy filming session in regards to like the kill scene and stuff. So I'm really proud of the work that went in. So to have an opportunity to share that with someone who received it well, I'll take that any day I can.
That'd be fun. Hopefully, like my movie comes out next year, and then like we could do a Comic Con together. And my booth could be right by yours.
Boom. Yeah, we can do an in-person podcast.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
I could steal your fans. I'd be like, hey.
Oh, you don't want to talk to her. Come talk to me. Exactly.
Did you ever take anything from the set, like a little souvenir or something?
Yes, I've been asked this a couple times, and
Oh,
the
you
answer
have. Oh
is
my
a
god.
little bit bizarre. And I have to just own it because I have it still in my apartment. But basically, like I said, they did like a 3D body mold, and that's how they made all the different prosthetics that they used. And by the end of filming, I was covered pretty much head to toe with prosthetics. And so the like torso that they sliced in half several times. I have the like prosthetic version of that that they let me take home after filming. So basically, I have like a prosthetic cut up torso in in my apartment, which
Uh,
it looks a little crazy. But I don't really have it on display or anything. But I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I can't throw it away. It's way too cool to do that. So
well, no, it's also like it's a souvenir. It's like because like when your career because I truly feel you're gonna be an A-lister. You know what I mean? Like
oh, thank you.
I feel I'm talking to the next Angelina Jolie. Like I truly
Oh,
feel that
that's
way.
nice. Thank you.
So it's always nice to like take some stuff and you'd be like, I did this on my first hit movie, right?
I like the way you
Uh,
think. Exactly. It's fun, every opportunity. I feel really grateful for any opportunity that's ever come my way. And this one has been such a monumental step for me, not only as an artist, but like as a person and just growing in this industry. So I love having little like keepsakes. And at the end of my time on set, I try to write like, notes or get little gifts for a lot of the people who were instrumental in my experience there. So I like to take a piece, but also leave a piece of myself too. So I hope to keep that going in future jobs as well.
Now, how was like I mean, we get the kill scenes, like filming that's pretty intense, but how was like the intimate scenes? Because you're a beautiful lady and you gotta do stuff what you're comfortable with, you know what I mean? Like how like do you guys go in and talk a game plan like, hey, this is my comfort zone?
So that's a great question, and it's definitely something that it takes a team, and I have to be honest, and I have to really vouch for the people who stood by my side and made sure that everything that I was not comfortable with was respected, and vice versa. And so my agents kind of were the first preliminary. We kind of went together and created a contract that kind of outlined my yeses and nos in regards to like what was willing to be shown on camera. And then luckily we had an amazing intimacy coordinator named Maria, and she worked one-on-one, like with me and Mason, and then with Mason and I together, and then also with Mason and I on set before and after shooting actually began. And I think that that is the best way to do things because we were able to choreograph things out. We were able to rehearse. We were able to have a confidant and someone to stick up for us. She
Yeah.
was always behind the camera, making sure all our red lines were respected. And I really can't say enough good things about the experience and how I felt very supported and protected. And in the future, if any other roles like that ever come my way, I'm going to be going about it the same way because I think it's important to advocate for what you're comfortable with and to not ever waver on that, and make sure that things are airtight and that you have a great team surrounding you. So yeah, it was ultimately a really positive experience. That being said, it was a growing opportunity for me as an artist to figure out, like what do I stand for? What am I comfortable with? But also like how can I grow from this and how can I become better? And it was a really great learning opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's very important because like kudos to your agent and your team and stuff because like usually they'll just be like, it's your first one, go do it, make that money, and then so I think like that's cool if you start like, hey, this is how it goes. You start like that, then they take you seriously the rest of your career. You
For
know.
sure. And it's also ultimately, this is an incredible job and it will forever hold a special place in my heart, but it's also a stepping stone in my career as an artist. And I hope to, keep going and to keep pushing further and to keep climbing that ladder, so to say, and like building my repertoire. So I definitely wanted to use this in a way that I felt was beneficial for myself and my career. And I wanted to make the best picture and exactly what Damien wanted while also staying true to myself. So I feel like we did that, and I was proud of it.
I think there's romantic comedies in your future too. I think you would be great
That
at
would be
that.
really fun. I definitely would love to have the opportunity to do something fun like that. I after the success of Anyone But You earlier this year, I have to hope that rom-coms are back on the rise, and I would love to get my hat in the ring one day.
Yeah, I love rom-coms and because I think like that they're the best form of humor. That's I
Yeah?
feel very real
Okay.
because I don't know if you have like a relationship or whatever, but when you have a relationship, the humor that's the real humor. You know, the laughing and all that stuff. Where like when you're doing comedy with whole strangers, that's not real humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more
That's a really good
trying.
point. It's like when you catch yourself with your partner and you're like, we're being so weird. Only we would laugh at this, but that's really special. And that's the true love language, when you get each other enough to find humor in the silly things and have your own little language. So I like that perspective.
Yeah, so I find like I will always go support, people say they're chick flicks, but I think they're like the best type of flicks.
Oh, I
I
love
loved Anyone But You.
Yes, me too. And I don't know. I just think it's fun. And as much as I love watching, a horror film that's making me grimace and like, the whole time and scream and feel that very visceral reaction, I feel the same way about whenever you feel happy and you're having joy elicited. And like, even though you know that it's all fun and games, at the end of the day, you're able to suspend reality for a moment and just fall in love with their love and their fun and their games?
Yeah. Hey, I just thought of a great romantic comedy idea. I could pitch it to you. You could
Oh,
pitch it
let's
to
hear
your
it.
agents and we could get famous, more famous.
All
Because
right, let's do it.
okay, so a guy like emails a girl, right? And she responds on an email, right? And it goes in her inbox, and it's called "You've Got Mail," the Lego version.
What? Wait, so they're Legos? They're like little
Yeah,
people?
the Lego version.
I think that would definitely fit somewhere in the Lego universe. I'm pretty sure that they might hear this. They might come after you. They might want your idea. You better copyright that.
This would be fantastic if they do take the idea. I'd be like, me and Alexa's idea. It made the news
I'm getting roped in. I'm getting a writer's credit. Let's go. That's awesome.
for sure. I wanted to respect your time, but I have four more questions, and if you want to like
Let's do it.
fast forward those. Uh, I haven't seen this, but one of your first films you did an Anna Nicole Smith film. And
Yes.
I wanted to know like how is that because that's like a by what's it called biopic?
Biopic?
Yes.
Yes, a biopic. Yeah, wow, that's from a long time ago. That was actually my first time ever doing a role on a movie set. I had done some TV and commercial before that, but that was my first time ever being on a movie set, and I was ecstatic to be there. I played the younger version of Anna Nicole, which, fun fact, her biological name is Vicky Lynn. So,
Oh, nice.
Anna Nicole is her like stage name. So I was playing the young Vicky Lynn, and I remember I was a little bit traumatized because they made me put temporary brown dye in my hair and they made my hair super dark. And so I was not the happiest about that. But that was a really cool experience, just getting the opportunity to tell a true story that doesn't always happen all the time. We love fiction as in the film community. So having my first introduction to film being something that was true and being able to honor her story and her upbringing was a really cool opportunity. And I just remember being super proud of that scene. And there's a moment in one of my scenes where I kind of have this like epic breakdown. My mom locks me into my room when I'm supposed to be going out with friends. And that was the first time that I got to really have like an emotional response on set. I wasn't just doing cutesy little girl things. I was, banging on the door. I was crying. And so that was a really cool opportunity to kind of let go. And I feel like that was a similar experience to being in Terrifier 3, where it was just like, do go as far as you can, scream as loud as you can, be as scared as you can. So it's pretty cool. You rarely get freedom, and I felt that in those moments. So I'm gonna probably be chasing those feelings in future sets for sure.
I love films that are like based on truth and stuff. I feel like every film should say based on a true story because who knows? Terrifier 3 could have happened in like Canada or something. You know what I mean? We
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
we just
these
haven't
things.
heard about it for sure. Well, have you heard of the show Disclaimer? I believe it's on Apple TV right now.
No, what is that?
They open with this, it's a tagline of the show. It's not actually a true story, but the tagline of the show is saying, like, any resemblance to real persons is not a coincidence. So basically,
Oh my God.
it's like implicating every single person in the script. So I really enjoyed the show. It's a great show. You should watch it. But that made me think of that.
I would love to watch it. I have a problem watching TV shows. I like movies, but TV shows I kind of like. I don't have, I write jokes and scripts and stuff. That's my life. Where like a TV show, I have to put in hours and
It's a
hours. Yeah,
commitment, a long-term commitment. You definitely have to put a label on that for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Like I interviewed this one dude from General Hospital, which is a soap opera,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my God, there's 10,000 episodes. I don't feel like watching this.
Some people though, that's like, they love to just that's like their comfort shows. They'll just have on while they're like cooking and cleaning and all the time. Like I have a best friend who she runs through shows not just once, but like she's watched like the entirety of Grey's Anatomy like 6 times. I'm like, literally, how do you have that many hours in the day? But she just has it, on in the background while she's doing other things. So for some people,
Oh.
that's their preference. Movies you got to really lock in.
Yeah, maybe I should do that, but I don't think I want to start with General Hospital.
Yeah, I feel like we could find maybe start with Shameless. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so question number three, I wanted to ask you, Alexa, what are your fears that you have when you started in the, before you were famous, and now that you're famous, do you still have that fear?
Uh, huh. That's a good question. It might take me a second to formulate an answer.
Oh,
This might be kind of a cop-out answer, but I do feel like, growing up in the dance world and in the performance world, you grow up in an environment where you really, really care about what other people think.
yeah.
And specifically, a very specific set of judges, I really cared what they thought because, that was the adjudication that I was going to be receiving. And I have to say, like, after my performances started being observed by a wider audience and way more opinions start flooding in, I found myself really letting go about what really other people have to say or what they think about me or my performances per se, just because for every you just can't possibly keep up with all the opinions, when there's that many voices. So it's honestly been a little bit freeing just as like if there's always like one negative response for every like 90 nice responses, but those voices start to just drone out, and you just start caring a lot more about your own personal belief and what you feel. So I don't know if that was the right what
No,
the answer
that's a
completely.
great answer. And I totally agree. Like here's what I do is like I don't, what when I first started, I think maybe I kind of liked Googling myself because it was like, oh, I'm kind of, I'm not as famous as you, but I'm a famous as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I just don't do it because I don't need to hear the mean things people say about my comedy when the truth is they're not the ones who's doing it. Does that make sense?
Oh, exactly. And it's like, for every one rude DM I receive so many kind, uplifting messages on the daily that I'm just like, why would I give them a fraction of my energy or time or space in my brain? So, in a way, I feel like that's a good growth trajectory, I guess, that we can get from becoming more in the public eye, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, I got a great new movie idea for you.
Oh,
So,
let's hear it. You're full of
okay,
them.
I know. So you're a dancer, right? And
I
you
like
you
it.
you dance out of school, and then I'm like a janitor, a bad boy, right? And
A bad boy janitor.
yeah, it's just a remake of that Save the Last Dance thing, but the Lego version.
Oh, okay. And we're back to Legos again?
I don't know. I like Legos.
They're apparently.
Okay, so a second to last question I wanted to ask you, if you could go into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Oh my gosh, you're trying to make me emotional. I don't know.
Oh, I don't want to make you emotional. I'm just
No, no,
trying to
no, no,
make
no.
you
I'm joking.
smile. Oh.
No, no, no. I'm joking. In like a very like as not corny as I try to be, I have always been a really goal-oriented person, and while that's been an amazing thing for me in my life in the sense that I feel like I am always working towards something and I've always held myself to lofty goals and tried my best to achieve them, and I think that I but it also caused a lot of stress in my life growing up because I felt all this pressure to achieve those very finite goals that I had in mind. And I think that to a younger version of myself, that I would just give her a hug and tell her that I can achieve them all and to not stress out so much, and that there's a lot more time in life than you think.
Oh, that's a great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that and you didn't say, "Hey, Alexa, this is Alexa Blair Robinson from 2024. I just want you to know if this guy, Keith Reza, asks you to do his podcast, say no."
Yeah, that was my second one. I'm sorry. I that was coming out next.
Uh, and then the final question is, where can the folks at home follow and support you?
So I'm most active on Instagram. You can follow me and my career at _ Alexa Blair. And then on TikTok, I have the handle Alexa Blair Rob. And that's where you can find me and keep up with my journey.
Oh. Well, Alexa, thanks for being my best friend for 30 minutes. Hopefully, this was one of the funnest interviews you've ever done.
Of course it was.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic. I have Asperger's, but I really did enjoy. I really did enjoy talking to you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, this has been really fun. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, have a great day, and I'll tweet you when I'm in LA.
Perfect. Will do. Have a great night.
All right. Bye, Alexa.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was the episode. Subscribe, rate, review, and we'll see you guys next week on Reza Rifts.